is how many candles are on the menorah? How many candles are on the menorah? 9. So sometimes you get really genius children. They tend to sit in the front row. And they say things like 9. And you say, why are there 9? Oh, there's 8 candles. And say that word again that you said after the 8 candles. Shamash. And what's that candle do? God, I did not even prep her. I want you to know. You remember what that one does? It lights the other candles. And if you're lucky, when you ask this question as a rabbi, you get into all sorts of conversations about why the 8 candles, why the 9th candle, why the 9th candle is usually on a different level than the 8 candles. Sometimes if you're a really tricky rabbi, you'll ask without the menorah out, right, the Chanukah, and they'll be looking at the one that there's a picture of on the front of my bima. You get to have a whole conversation about how a menorah is any light, any ritual light, right? And a Chanukah is the one for Hanukkah. Get into all the really good stuff. And when you're lucky, you get to talk about that shamash. That, what did you say we do with the shamash? That candle that lights the other candles. Yeah, we have a question. Oh, even better. I will pay you later as well. So there are synagogues, there are shuls, where the caretaker, the one whose job it is to make the sanctuary and the place ready for those of us in the community who are just going to enter and participate, that person had the same name as the helper candle. It was the helper, the shamash, right? The one who lived in a way or existed in a way to be of service. And I wanted to start our service tonight before we even put that first flame to that helper candle, thinking a little bit about it. Because so often it is seen as a way to something else, right? It's a pathway to the lights, to the blessings, to the latkes or sufganiot that might be waiting downstairs. But really, actually, I have called to the shamash, that helper candle this week, because of a personal experience I had. So I want to talk about it before we even light it. And I want to talk about a person who was my shamash, my helper. So as we said, it is a person who offers service, whose life is lived in service. It is not the candle that counts any of the 8 days. When you light the shamash, you don't say tonight's night 1, right? You light it so that you can light that first candle, that second candle, all the way through the 8. When we say the blessings, often you'll notice, in fact, that people light that shamash first, and then they start saying the blessings. They start singing the blessings as they light the other lights, because those are the lights that are the lights for the holiday, and it exists to be in relationship, to be in connection with the holiday. And I love it as a metaphor because it offers its flame, its light to all around without ever being diminished. It's so versatile in that it is something that the rabbis created, actually, because you're not supposed to use your Hanukkah candles for anything but pure enjoyment. For the time those, let's call purple and blue, those 2 candles are lit, it's all joy. It's no work. That's how we're supposed to use that time. Which is funny because it's in some ways the opposite of the white candles, the Shabbat candles, which are actually lit, not so that you can work, but so that you can function, right? It would get dark on Shabbat, and they lit the Shabbat candles so that you could go about your regular life. But these teeny tiny little candles are not about regular life or functioning. They're just about joy. But they can't exist without the shamash. And I love that the shamash, unlike a match, is kept lit. That it burns, and it burns as the rest of the menorah burns. Not like the light we use to light our Shabbat candles, which does its duty and then disappears. But instead, it has its own integrity, its own value it adds to us. So why do I want to make a big deal about a little candle this week, this Hanukkah Shabbat? Because a shamash of mine died. A man named Rabbi Dr. David Ellenson, who was twice the president of Hebrew Union College, the institution that ordains all Reform rabbis and cantors and educators in our field. And he left us on the morning that we lit the shamash for the first time. And as I watched my email fill and my Facebook feed fill with tributes and with love to the number of people whose lives he had touched, I realized that he embodied so much of what makes the shamash holy, even though it's not the light that we say the mitzvah about. Rabbi Dr. David Ellenson, who insisted you called him David, he would have hated me using all of his titles, was a giant of a man. He was a dear friend of Rims, of our beloved Rabbi Rims, a friend since they were both in rabbinic school. And he was a teacher of our old president, Jeanette Machts, our past president. Jeanette, if you're listening, I did not just call you old. He was a scholar. He was a rabbi. He was a mensch. But he was not just all of those things. He was the exemplar of all of those things, recognized across denominations for his wisdom, offering smicha as a rabbi. When a rabbi or a cantor is ordained, it's actually done through the laying of hands. You can't wave at a person and call them rabbi. You have to stand really close and put your hand on their shoulder and look them in the eye and say, I was offered this gift and I offer it to you. And he was a mensch. Rim remembers him perhaps most fondly as a fun friend, which is a little hard for me to imagine because he was my professor and he was an intellectual and he was a chacham and a tzaddik. He was wise and he was righteous. And Rim said, yeah, but if you ever talked to him about what was streaming on Netflix, you had a good conversation going. What an incredible gift to be able to be a light in every aspect of your life. And when he died, when I received word that he died, I actually found myself wondering what it would mean to light the candles that night. How to light the candles when his light was gone. And then I realized, of course, that a huge amount of his genius and his gift was that he laid the way for us, knowing he wouldn't always be there. He built for a future that he wouldn't see. And I thought how many of us have been gifted by just those kinds of relationships in our lives. People whose light enabled our growth, whose love created a path that we could journey on, and whose history was the ground on which our future stood. They are our shamashes. They are those lights kindled that burn in and of themselves, but whose brightness is seen in how many times they have touched another in love. And how do we honor them? Of course, we become the shamash for these next generations. We offer our light and our help and our love as freely as those who gave it to us. And so we're about to strike the match and light the shamash. We'll light it just before we start singing the blessings for the candles that are the candles of the mitzvah. But I want you to take a moment, or I invite you to take a moment to consider, to reflect, to remember those whose spark lit a fire in you, whose love continues to burn. So we'll turn to the lighting of our Hanukkah candles this evening, honoring. Anybody want to be our lighter? Anybody want to light our candles? You're going to hold up the shamash first, okay?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. Before we light our Shabbat candles, let's sing some Hanukkah songs in the glow of this light. Sor Yeshuati V'chana El Shabbat Tikom Tefilati V'sham Toda Nizavea V'etahim Ha'beya Mizar HaMla'beya Azekor V'shir The classic Chanukah, oh Chanukah, come light the menorah. Chanukah, oh Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Silly bones to play with and lots to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they share this sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they share this sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Let's do it one more time. Chanukah, oh Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Silly bone to play with and like us to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they share the sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they share the sweet light to remind us of days long ago. This is a complicated Chanukah. And I know that there are people who aren't sure they should put their Chanukiah up in their windows, and how to be festive at a time like this, and how can we not be festive, and how can we not put our Chanukah menorah in our windows. And it's a mishmash of feelings, and I see it in your faces tonight, and I feel it in our spirit as a congregation. So tonight's service is really dedicated to the complex layers of light at this time. And so just this week, Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt wrote a poem called Feel, and it spoke right to me. Right in the middle of our Hanukkah songs, I want to just offer this poem of hers. It's all right to feel distracted. There's a war going on. Well, two. Also an insurgency somewhere, plus the uneasy sense that there must be more conflict in places you can't name. It's okay that one of these hurts more than the others do. No one can feel equally every worldly grief. Maybe you know someone who is fighting, or someone who was killed. I'll add in someone who is a hostage. You're a degree or two of separation from the horrors of the front lines, or there are no front lines. Horrors are everywhere. You are allowed to feel whatever you feel, including, of course, sad, despairing, furious, alone, panic-stricken, unable to breathe, unable to sleep, or maybe to wake up, knowing how many will never wake again. Groceries still need to be bought, laundry washed, assignments completed. You may stop still at the sink, washing produce, seized suddenly by awareness of everyone without water or food to wash in it. Remember, grief is sticky, like tape attaching to itself and refusing to pull free, so that every sorrow reopens every other. I want to say, kindle one candle and breathe with its light. Inside you, the tempests will settle. But this may not be true. I can't promise when the grief will end. Bring light anyway. Our souls are God's candles, even when we're not sure we still know how to shine. So we turn to one more Hanukkah song in the complication of this time. A song, this brilliant song written by Peter Yarrow, Peter, Paul, and Mary. I think one of the most finely crafted songs that I know, because he embedded within it 8 times the light one candle. So we will be candles to each other tonight and throughout this week of Hanukkah. We will not let the light go out. Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. And light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years, so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together with peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years, so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep it alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years, so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. All right, big ending here. Don't let the light go out. Say it again. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. And we are so lucky to have here in the sanctuary tonight two recent B'nai Mitzvah people. We have Bryce and Callie, who became Bar and Bat Mitzvah just in these last months. We're wondering if the two of you would come up to light our Shabbat candles. And we also have, conveniently, our next Bar Mitzvah in February. And Jordan, we're wondering if you would come up to help out as well. And we turn to page 1 for our Shabbat candle blessing. Shabbat shalom. turn to page 11 for Lachadodi, chanting together stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9. Reach stanza 9 will rise together in body or in spirit, facing the back of the sanctuary to welcome in that presence of
Shmei Rabba v'et Romam, v'et Naseh, v'et Hadar, v'et Hala, v'et Hala, Shemeda Kudushat B'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nehemata, Damiram Yama,
v'imru.
Amen.
Turn to page 16, calling each other home into this sanctuary as prayer.
Just taking a moment to welcome those who are new to our sanctuary, to this home of ours. Hope this feels like a comfortable and warm, cozy space, and we're so glad you're here with us. And also to welcome Kyle and Kobe back into this sanctuary. It's wonderful to be in this home with you again, and to all of us feeling that light connecting each one of us together. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. A Chanukah prayer for a time of darkness. Creator of all, in the beginning, you made the night sky luminous with the light of the moon and the stars, and you made the daytime bright with the light of the sun, and saw that it was good. And you created human beings in your own image with capacity to distinguish dark from light, with capacity to create holy sparks, to see into the shadows and shine light where it is dark. And you saw that it was very good.
Creator of all and rock of ages, in the time of the Maccabees, once more you worked a miracle of light, permitting our ancestors to rededicate holy space. And it lasted 8 days and 8 nights. Creator of all and rock of ages. In the dark of night and in the darkest time of year, we light candles in remembrance of the miracle, once more each night until there are 8.
Creator of all and rock of ages, too many lights have been extinguished. The world has grown too dark. Creator of light and dark, teach us once more to see into the shadows, to shed our light into all the dark corners, and to create holy sparks for all humankind, so that once more we can say, it is very good. Ve'ahavatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod le'olam va'ed. We offer this meditation on the Chanukah light as our V'ahavta tonight. The mystics teach that the flames of Chanukah echo from the beginning of creation, and they shine with chen, with grace, pure love, freely given. To sit in this glowing light is to be embraced and renewed by abundant graciousness, love, and compassion. There is nothing we need to do to earn this love. There is no one else we need to be to receive this great compassion. This light of grace, pure love, freely given, is at the core of creation and flows to all. So on this second night of Chanukah, we sit with the light of grace-filled love and let it comfort, embrace, and renew our souls.
May these Chanukah and Shabbat lights clear the way for love and blessing to come through. May there be healing for all beings and all the earth as we pray for the safety and redemption of all who call this fragile planet home. Turn to the words Mi Chamocha at the bottom of page 21. Turn to page 25 as we prepare to enter the Amidah, the heart of our service this evening. We'll sing these first 6. I feel like this is no win for me. We'll say these first 6 words together in community, the prayer just to be able to pray. Then we'll take time in this night of so many words, so many reflections and candles and poems and all of the joy to just pray while held in the presence of community. If you'd like, we invite you to find the windows, find the places where it's easiest for you to reflect, make some time with the candles, wherever feels like prayer to you. We invite you to find that place. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Persian poet Rumi, hundreds of years ago, said, if everything around seems dark, look again. You may be the light. If everything around seems dark, look again. You may be the light. Offer this video by India Ari called I Am Light. Something that I like to listen to every first night of Chanukah, if not more. Offered as a meditation on the light inside. I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 Hey, yeah. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the
source of it all. I am light.
Turn to page 130.
One of the things we do with that light that we are is we turn our energy toward healing and caring for those in our community and those in our lives with love, asking for healing for people who are suffering in body, mind, spirit, mood. Callie has offered to lead us in the Misha Berach tonight, and we invite you up. Find the words on page 130. As a community, we are praying for the healing of Beth Ann Kalapi, Laura Bell, Barbara Kevorkin, Bonnie Diamond, Bill Pollock, Gerald Mondell, Tom Lemons, Irene Brown, Liliana Walheim Martinez, Peter Feynman, Pat Urich, Frank, Andy A., Joyce, Lorene Huckle, Annie Graham and her family, Nikki Reed, Angie Silver, Chris Dermer, Sarah Kianowski, Ayelet Galbat, Chava Hirschmuel, Stanley Roth, Debbie Gilman, Neil Daniels Midman, Anya Kabel, Sue Boardman, Kathy Nath. I include Rabbi Cari and Rabbi Rim, who I know is on Zoom here with us, for this loss that you have both experienced yesterday. And if there is someone in your life that you would like to say aloud, need of healing, please raise your hand.
Ruth Ginsburg and Karen Packard.
Shirley Owens is
Barbara and David. Sharon Sternberger. Brenda Shavitz. Morgan Elwood.
Eliana Radash, Sarah Lex, and Margaret Martel.
For all of these loved ones named, for all carry in our hearts. Let's turn our voices to this beautiful prayer, asking for a refuah shlema, a complete healing.
Who bless the ones
And Bryce, we'd love to have you come back on up, and Chelsea, you too, as we turn back to page 31 for Oseh Shalom.
Before we join our voices together in prayers for peace, we turn to the prayers for those who are held hostage, those who were taken out of Israel on October 7th and have not been free. And we are aware, so aware that of those who have returned home. And we continue to pray for the safety and the security of those who are not yet free. And so we join our voices together as part of our promise, part of the extended Jewish family, to hold out hope for one another even in dark times. Please pray with me. Our family, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress or in captivity, who stand either in the sea or on dry land, may the Omnipresent have mercy on them and take them out from trouble to blessing, and from darkness to light, and from oppression to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. Oseh Shalom Bimroma Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace above make peace descend on all of us, on all of us, and Yisrael, let us say Amen. All right, let's break it down into a round. Oh, say makes peace above, make peace descend on all of us, on all of us, and Israel, let us say Amen. Oh, say Shalom V'Roma, Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen, Ve'imru Amen, Ve'imru Amen. Turn to page 44. We started our service with the Shamash, the one who offers light to those around, and whose light then gets passed along while they still maintain their own. And as we move towards these concluding prayers, we think of those whose light and love is with us now, whose presence we feel as keenly as we feel their absence. We will take this time to say their names in our sanctuary, in our shared home, acknowledging the ways their life continues to shape ours and promising to live in a way that honors their memory. We have a list for our community this week, and will be an opportunity for each of you here in the sanctuary if you'd like to say the name of somebody you are remembering. If you're joining us in our digital community, we invite you to share the name of your loved ones using the chat function.
In these last days, we remember Rabbi Dr. David Ellenson and all those who have died in the continued violence in Israel, in Gaza, in Ukraine, and in too many places around the world. Your sites tonight include Teresa Raisin, beloved wife of Dan, mother of Nat and Ben and Claire, whose memory shines so brightly still here in this sanctuary every Friday night. She is greatly missed. There's also the yahrzeit of Jody Fisher, Rebecca's beloved uncle and beloved brother of Annie. It's also remembering that it is John Lennon's yahrzeit tonight. It's 42 years since he has died. And in this year of memory, we remember Jen Irvin's beloved mother, Kay Ann Liss, Lynn Brodsky's mother, Duffy Brodsky, Lois Lineal, Aliza Stern-Geyer, Caroline Hirschfeld, and Florence Foreman. If there are yahrzeits you're observing tonight, or someone who is feeling so close to you, please raise your hand. I'd be honored to call on you.
My uncle, Art Albert. Damian Morris Chris. Ted and Nike Cooper.
Shane McGowan. Lewis Hampton.
For all those named, for those who have no one to say their names for them, we become one community of memory with the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 44. Please rise, embody your spirit. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be an abiding blessing, as together we say, amen. You may be seated.
There is Torah study tomorrow morning at 10:30, both in the library and on Zoom. And many Hanukkah festivities at 2 o'clock. If you are 6 years old or under, you are invited to a party at 2 o'clock with your parents. And at 4 o'clock, a Hanukkah celebration for all of us. We'll hear a story, Havdalah, songs, of course, all the goodies that come along with Hanukkah, and that's at 4 tomorrow. On Sunday night, Connections is hosting a movie at 7 p.m., Hester Street. And on Monday night, Adult Ed is having a continued amazing class called Gender and Judaism, and that's at 7 p.m. online only. We will conclude our service with one last Hanukkah song, Sivivon, Sov, Sov, Sov. And we keep spinning and spinning too. Sivivon, Sov, 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 Chanukah hu Chag Tov, Chanukah hu Chag Tov, Sivivon, Sov, 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 Chag Simcha U'la'am, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Chag Simcha U'la'am, Sivivon, Sov, 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 Chanukah hu Chag Tov, Chanukah hu Chag Tov, Sivivon, Sov, 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 Chag Simcha U'la'am, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Chag Simcha U'la'am, Sivivon, Sov, 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 Chanukah hu Chag Tov, Chanukah hu Chag Tov, Sivivon, Sov, Sov, Sov. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi right up here, and we have some delicious sufganiyot waiting for us downstairs, brought to us by Caroline and Dan from Saugus, from Kane's Donuts. Very special, and just would like to offer, just as always, gratitude to our tech team for making everything work. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
And may miracles abound in this Hanukkah season.